Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Chase. Today we are making corn tortillas. It is Cinco de Mayo. It's my older brother Dawson's birthday. Happy birthday, Dawson. Also belated birthday to my dad. His birthday was last Friday. Cinco de Mayo, I thought I would talk about kind of tortillas and a little bit of their history and show you how easy they are to make at home and what a difference it means or makes having a fresh corn tortilla versus something you buy in the store. So grab a drink, my coffee over here. Here you go. Let's get cooking, guys. Okay, so this is not a lot of cooking in this episode, but we're going to be talking a lot about the corn tortilla and something that I'm still definitely learning about, and you know, just like the pasta, I'm not saying I'm an expert at making these or that I know everything about them, but I've been kind of diving into that research, researching them a little bit over the past couple of years, and certainly been learning a lot. And they're a really fascinating subject. So there's kind of four staples of starch that have kind of sustained people around the globe, right? And we know the main one we know is wheat, right? Bread. Bread was a staple of Europe for most of kind of modern human history. The other one was rice, obviously supplied most of Asia with its starch and most of its carbohydrate energy. The other one was legumes, so that's Africa, and a large parts of South America. And the last one is corn. And corn has kind of a little bit been forgotten, but corn is the staple of Mexico, traditionally, and Mesoamerica, and historically the Mayan and the Aztec people. And how they grew corn and how they turned it into something that they could digest and that could sustain the body over the day is really interesting. So corn in of itself, we can't really digest it raw. So when you buy masa, so this is masa, I'm sure I'm not saying it perfectly correct, and you just want to get a shot of this, and this is just pure corn flour. But if you read the ingredients, it also has lime added to it. So when they're making this, they take the corn, they dry it, then they soak it in water that's been has lime added to it. This is called the nixtamalization process, and that allows the husks of the corn to become soft and break up, but it also makes it more digestible by people. And that's like a pretty kind of high technology, complicated food sciencey thing, but they've been doing that in Mesoamerica for 10,000 years, as far as we can tell, and no one's really sure how they figured out that lime made corn more digestible. There's some theories that say traditional Mexican mortar and pestles are made of limestone, so as they were grinding the corn, their mortar and pestles look more like a rolling pin on a flat piece of stone, so they kind of grind it like you're rolling out dough. That some of the limestone broke off and got incorporated into the masa, into the flour, and then they found that they felt better at that, and slowly over time they kind of just took some limestone and added it to the boiling water, and then eventually they figured out to add lime. The other thought is that in Mayan and Aztec history, the sacred caves, which I actually had an amazing opportunity to go touring with my fiance Tyler, they're limestone caves, limestone formations. So the other thought is that they could have used water from those caves to boil their corn for special occasions or ceremonies. That has a higher concentration of lime. They felt felt better when they had masa that was made from water from those caves. Over whatever amount of time, they figured out that lime helps the corn. I know this is a long rambling story about corn flour, but the whole point of that is that what used to be a staple of a huge portion of the world has now gotten commercialized and sent out, and now corn tortillas are made, and they put a ton of salt in them, and they do all these things to make them shelf life stable, so you can buy a corn tortilla from the store and leave it in your cupboard, and then 5 weeks later pull it out and use it. And all of that was just a long way of saying that a fresh corn tortilla, when you have that, it's a really, really magical experience. So there's only two ingredients to making a corn tortilla at home. It's this masa flour, and you can get any brand, but this seems to be the one that is available most readily. And the only ingredients are corn and lime. That is, I don't know, where's the ingredients here? Yeah, corn treated with hydrated lime. So whatever brand you're getting, make sure that's all it says. And the other ingredient is going to be warm water. There's no salt. There's no fat. There's nothing added. It's just corn and water and treated with a little technique, a little love. And I will tell you that it is just a monumental difference between the stuff you get in the store. So literally we're going to make this. There'll be ingredients on the back. This is 1 cup of masa flour to 3 cups of kind of warm water.
3/4 of a cup?
3/4 of a cup, thank you. And we're just going to kind of work this together here. It's going to seem, oh, Marty, are you a little masa flour? Oh, okay. I think it's time for Marley to go outside. There you go, movie star. Come on. So I guess, okay, so this is going to look pretty dry, and it is. So it kind of can form into a ball, but not quite leave your hand, like there's not little pieces on your hand. So you're just going to keep working this for a little bit. If you need to add a little water, just add a very small amount at a time. I'm just kind of working this in the bowl till it starts. There's no gluten in this, right? So you're not kneading this like flour, like a dough, to make, develop gluten. So at this point, I'm just going to take this out, turn it out onto my board. You're just kneading it to get the consistency correct. Flour off here, go for a little janky cut the board here. And then the amount of water is, they say, when you kind of touch it and hold your hand out, it should feel, you should be able to kind of feel the cold air on your hand. Like that's how liquidy it should be. But that looks good to me. It's not leaving anything on my hands, but it still forms a smooth ball. It's not kind of crappy and crumbly. So then you're going to take this, and you're going to divide this, forgot the scale, 1 second, into 1 ounce pieces. If you don't have a scale, I'll show you the size. Okay. Ooh, my hand's still strong. It's always used to be the test of the restaurants. 0.8 portioning stuff. Everyone get real competitive. They could if you could be like 1.6, drop it down, 1.6, focus. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 5 for now. So you don't need to watch me weigh all this out. And whenever you're not doing, whenever you're not using, we're just gonna get a damp towel. And keep a damp towel on it because it loses water real quick. And we do not want this to dehydrate. So, damp towel over the bowl, keep this off to the side, the rest of it later. Scale here. Dry my hands, don't want to add any water. You're just going to roll them into balls. And then we're going to press them. So I've just got a cast iron pan. It's been heating at medium low heat. You don't want something, we're not trying to sear these or anything like that. And that's been heating for about 10 or 15 minutes just so the heat's really even. If you have a skillet, or sorry, a flat top, like one of those movable skillets. It's called skillets? Skillets. That'd be great. You can cook more of them at once. When we were traveling in Guatemala, it was amazing. We go to all these little taco stands. And they're just all along the streets there. Just, it's primarily the women there who make the tortillas. But just the quantity and speed in which these guys can make tortillas down there, is pretty astounding. This one feels big, and I'm sure it is. Just gonna take a pinch off. So if you don't have a scale, So we're in this kind of range of ping pong ball-ish there. You can see that's a little cracked. Probably can use a touch more water. I'm hoping it'll work out. But we will see. So you're then going to get some parchment paper, and a little ball on it, and then a plate. Normally they've got tortilla presses down there. We just have plates, and it's less pressure than you think. We're not making the smash burgers. Oh, this is not the right plate. So this plate had a rim on it, I didn't notice, on the bottom there, so that prevented me from getting the pressure down. Okay, they all have rims. They all have rims. Okay, so if they all have rims, you're just gonna grab yourself a pot, which doesn't have a rim, and it's less pressure than you think. Kind of down there. Ooh, good. There. Okay. Let's see. Seems a little thick, but it should be kind of somewhere in that 4 to 5 inch range, right? And then you can pull this off. And they're really delicate, right? And you're gonna lay them on like that. Fold them on there. And what we're really hoping to see here is a souffle. So a really good cooked tortilla will balloon up as one side cooks. You flip it, the other side cooks, it will puff, it will create a little steam and hollow in there. And that's what I'm really, really hoping to see here. And if not, we're going to do some cutting, some editing, and make sure to get a video for you guys of souffle tortilla. You know, and this is, it's like anything, a lot of the stuff I've showed you, right? It's extra work. You can go off and buy this, and it's fine, right? You can see, I wasn't delicate, tore, which is okay. Just take this, because there's no gluten in this, you can just reform it almost indefinitely, as far as I'm told. You can just form this indefinitely, just reform the ball, bring this down, there. So you're starting to get some steam underneath, but you don't want to move it. It's one of those things you kind of hit and let her do her thing. Right, and these are small, but that's what the tacos are like in Mexico and in Guatemala and stuff. They're a lot smaller than. So you could obviously make them bigger. See, worked out. And again, I'm just caking on my hand, kind of 3 fingers, right? And I'm just letting it fall into place. I'm not flipping it. You're just letting the tortillas kind of fall. So I don't want to crowd the pan, so we're going to go with these two. And I'm hoping they will souffle on us, and that will show it here. But, yeah, my memory of this is I kind of got into this food, or kind of Mexican, Central American, South American food. We did a family trip down to Costa Rica. The first time I made tortillas, it was my brother and his now wife. He's having their first kid. Very soon. So exciting. And we all got around the house and we found the flour, because they sell this at every kind of little bodega down in Costa Rica. Okay, so this guy's ready to flip. So you can see it's kind of turning up on the sides there. Right? So let's see if we get a souffle. I think it might be a touch thick. Anyway, and you know, so we're I did this butcher, and we found this beautiful pork butt I got from the guy, and you know, no one speaks English, and it was this whole great experience. And then we made tortillas for dinner, for our tacos, and we're all going. We all knew it was supposed to souffle, and it wasn't. And then all of a sudden, one tortilla, we put it down and flipped it, and just ballooned right up, and just like seeing that, you know, in that place, kind of eating that food was just a really, really cool experience. Okay, so you can see, I didn't add, there's no fat or anything, but they are totally free. So I'm just kind of seeing how they go here. You can see this one's starting to turn up on the sides. That's a good sign that it's ready to flip. All right, and you're not looking for brown color. Yeah, and again, these probably won't souffle because I am not a professional tortilla maker. There are a million people that have more experience than I am, but that's okay. If these guys don't, we'll make some more, and I will show you what it looks like. It looks like they're not going to, so I'm going to roll out the rest of these, pound them out, come back, and I will show you one when it's souffling and what that should look like. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so some developments. We have switched to a larger pan. I think before I wasn't getting them quite flat enough for them to souffle. The ones I made are still fantastic, better than any tortilla you're going to get from the store, but we're striving for perfection here. So the other concern I have is that that bag of flour is kind of old, and flour does lose life, right? It's dried and milled, and there's microorganisms that live in flour. They talk about this in bread making a lot. So I'm just wondering, and I don't know if we've had this bag, because this bag makes 4.5 kilograms of tortillas, and we don't go through 4.5 kilograms of homemade tortillas. So I'm wondering if the flour being, the massa being a bit old is preventing it from kind of developing in that perfect way and getting that souffle. So we're going to try a couple more. Hopefully they will pop up for you guys here. You can see what it looks like. If not, there is tons of videos online. I'm getting a bit more force on these, so they're a bit bigger, a little bit thinner. There we go. Ooh, beat bolt here. It broke a little bit. Let's see if it still works. Then we got one more over here. I'm just gonna reach behind. This goes. Okay, so hopefully those will puff up on us. And if they don't, you know, like this is just a sign that the tortilla has been made perfectly, that everything's sealed and pressed correctly, and that steam from those 2 cooked layers getting captured, and that's what's causing the puff. Like I said, there's no leavening in this. There's no yeast or baking powder or baking soda or anything like that. So it's all just steam trapped in layers. So it could be, like I said, a bunch of things that pressing the pan isn't getting an even compression, right? Because it's not a tortilla press. It could be the age of the masa flour. It could just be that I'm not a super experienced tortilla maker. But even if you don't get the souffle, even if it doesn't pop up, you know, this flour is not super expensive, right? Like you're trading for a couple bucks. I think they sell it at most grocery stores now, like Superstore and stuff. And for a couple bucks, like, you can go home and get an experience of something that kind of ties into a culture that's been a little bit ignored. I was talking to my brother earlier today about this, and kind of the best analogy I could think of is trying to describe Japanese food or, you know, Asian food in general, a rice-based culture's food, and all you'd ever had was instant rice, right? And I think that's kind of what's happened with the tortilla is, you know, we think that what it is this kind of stale, dry, crappy thing from the grocery store that's full of salt and preservatives so it lasts on the shelf. And in reality, it's this beautiful, delicate process that's, you know, been worked on for 10,000 years, literally, and was the foundation of some of kind of the coolest and oldest cultures in the world. So for $5, you can touch into that and get to know it, and that's pretty amazing. Okay, so these guys, you can start to see, starting to curl up at the edges. So I don't think this guy's going to souffle because it broke. It's okay, right? Leave that guy for 1 more minute there. Then all you want to do is have kind of a clean dish towel, and you can do these, you know, the day of. If you're having tacos for dinner, doing it at lunch, kind of just have them going, right, off to the side while you're making your salsa and your condiments. And this is a little bit of a last-minute video for us, so we didn't, before we did our shop, we didn't get a chance to kind of go out and research and develop kind of what would be a really authentic taco. So just kind of go wild. Put whatever you want on it. You know, make your regular taco, but just try it with this beautiful handmade tortilla. So I'm gonna try to put this one, and this one I might actually get a poof. I'm hoping. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen for us. This one wants to. When I'm feeling it, I could feel an air pocket in it. I can feel that it wants to fill up, but it's just not holding steam in it. So I don't think it's going to get that souffle. But that's okay, right? Like, this is part of cooking, right? It's learning, it's figuring out, it's making mistakes. And along that journey, you're still eating really great, delicious food. And that's the important thing, right, guys? So the one thing I did, let that cool for a second. Let's get it in the middle. Is, you know, it has to rest for a minute. But when you make these tortillas, they rest. You can actually pull on them and they'll stretch, right? Because when the lime works with that corn, it goes through that whole process, that nixtamalization process, it develops gelatin. The corn develops a gelatin, and it almost acts like gluten. That you can stretch these homemade tortillas, right? And it looks like stretchy crumb of bread. It's incredible. It's absolutely amazing thing to see. And you know what? Whatever you're putting on these tacos for Cinco de Mayo, for families is happening to celebrate my brother's birthday. It will be better on a homemade tortilla, and I cannot recommend enough going out and she's not going to go on me. Going out, get a bag of masa, try making them at home. If it doesn't work and you hate them, it's a $4 or $5 experiment, and it's tapping into a huge culture and huge part of the world that I think is largely been ignored. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys are cooking along or making recipes or making tortillas, be sure to tag me at Chase Bros, #cooking with Chase. Stay home, stay safe, eat well, and we will see you tomorrow at 5. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. New videos every Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments. And as always, stay home, stay safe, eat well. Thanks.